Hello. It's been a long while. I honestly didn't realize how much work goes into making these YouTube videos when I started, and life kind of happened. Things came up that took up so much of my day-to-day life that I neither had the space and time or, quite frankly, the motivation or inspiration to make these videos. But I'm finally at a point where I'm settled and hoping I can be more of a regular here, thinking out loud. Shout out to my friends Nefi and Kurt, who really applied pressure for me to get started again. So let's do that. Let's get started. Let's talk about why I left Dakar. I think I need to close this for the sound. Okay, we're back. It's a beautiful day today, and so I thought it'd be nice to have the door windows open, but probably not a good idea for the sound. Okay, let's get into it. So, if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, by the way, you probably already know I no longer live in Dakar, and I just wanted to share a bit about why exactly I left. For those of you who know or have seen, my first video was about why I left Accra for Dakar, and I'll link it, I don't know, somewhere if you haven't already seen it. I left Accra to Dakar in 2021. Loved my time in Dakar. It was such a great city for me, such a good fit for what I was looking for in my day-to-day life. It's officially been, at the time I'm filming this, it's officially been 7 months since I left Dakar, and I'm currently living in Portugal, if you don't know. And so let me... So I had to get a spoon to stir my matcha because it was like, the matcha was getting to the bottom. Okay, where were we? Let me start off by saying that for me, and in my opinion, Dakar was really that girl. I've become a different person after living there. Clearer in mind and firmer in who I am and what I value. I saw a post from Esther Perel recently, which I think she said her friends sent it to her. And it's a question: if you could pick 3 cities where one is your lover, one is your boyfriend or girlfriend, and the other one is your lifelong partner, which cities would you pick? And for me, Dakar is undoubtedly my lover. She ignited a fire within me, awakening all my senses and fostering unrestrained freedom. A lot of changes happened in my life while I was there. Some of it was tough in the moment, but in hindsight, actually a blessing in disguise and so necessary for my growth. Yet, a passionate lover seldom aligns with the attributes essential for a healthy, enduring partnership. And this was ultimately the dynamic I experienced with Dakar. As I've gotten older, it's become clear to me what I need in a long-term base, and I'm a steadfast Capricorn. So there are certain necessities I will not compromise on, such as reliable infrastructure, robust healthcare and education systems, and a calm political climate. There are also some soft life needs of mine: easy access to nature, safety, an environment that is suitable for single people as well as families. And Dakar had some of these things, but not all. When I moved to Dakar in 2021, the political situation had gotten pretty tense. And let me explain that qualification with, I was born in Ghana in the 90s. There has never ever been a single election in my existence that was any real cause for alarm. But throughout my time in Dakar, there was always a violent protest here. You can't go to that neighborhood. I remember even before I moved in April, and just before I was looking for apartments, and all the realtors I spoke to told me that the 2021 protest, which I just showed on the screen, was happening, and so there was a bit of a lockdown, and so they weren't able to go to the apartment to send me videos of the apartments that I wanted to rent out. In June 2023, I experienced one of these mini lockdowns for a week because of super violent protests. At this point, I already knew I was going to leave Dakar, but if I had any doubt, this was the thing that broke the camel's back for me. Simply put, I did not feel really safe. I felt like every time an election drew close, things might become a bit unpredictable. Again, I acknowledge that depending on where you're from and what you have lived through, this may be normal or not so bad. But for me, it was far from ideal. My anxiety started to soar. And as a citizen of Ghana, I knew that if things got really bad, I would be left to fend for myself. I wouldn't have the luxury that citizens of Western countries have when things go south in certain countries of being evacuated out. So, will I go back to Dakar? Absolutely, no hesitation. Do I miss her? Terribly. But I wanted more for a long-term place. Another thing is, if I'm being completely frank, is that I wanted some of the advantages that comes with being a resident of a European country. And so this has nothing to do with Dakar specifically, but just something that I wanted for my future in the long run. The ability to travel in Europe without needing a visa. It's a privilege that you can only appreciate if you haven't had it before. This one was personal to me because I have had to skip out on certain opportunities because I needed a visa somewhere, or my visa didn't arrive, or my visa didn't arrive on time. And so this was a problem that I personally wanted to eliminate from my life. And moving to Portugal was a crucial step in being able to do that fully, permanently in the future. So for those of you that are curious about how I was able to move to Portugal without marrying someone, let me put my glass down, without marrying someone or without having a company sponsor me, because some of you know that I am a freelancer, I work for myself. Let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do a separate video on how I was able to facilitate this move. That is it. There are a few other, small issues that occurred when I was in Dakar, but those were not the main reasons why I left. And so I didn't talk about them in this video. Maybe in the future I might go into more detail, but that's it for now. In summary, I left Dakar because I wanted a softer life. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the drill, and hopefully I'll be back here in 2 weeks or less.